top of the mat. Still have some people coming in, filling in. Let's just feel our feet on the ground. And as you feel that mat beneath your feet, start to stand a little taller. Pull yourself together. There's this inner body energy that exists. And I think sometimes we are so wrapped up in the outer body energy, right? We're thinking so much about our outer form. But today I want you to take a little journey inward. So we lift a little bit from the arches of the feet. We lift a little bit on the pelvic floor. That lift in the pelvic floor also helps you lift the belly. And it's what I consider the central channel. When we engage the muscles on the inner core, it brings a vitality to us. It's called like an inner body bright feeling. So that central channel energy from the arches of the feet, the pelvic floor, the lower belly, start to lift the heart and even lift up through the crown of your head. There you go. And even on a subtle level, something shifts inside you. Let's see if we can maintain that throughout the practice. That feeling of the inner body awakened and bright. Take a deep breath, reach your arms up high overhead and keep that feeling inside. Exhale, draw the hands right to heart center. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, arms reach. We feel that lift inside, everything goes up. And then you pull the hands to heart and center it. One more time, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, pull it right to the heart. This time the arms go up and we'll hold them there. Hook the thumbs together, take a stretch to the right side. Just lengthening through the left side body and breathing. See if you can feel that lift. Arches of the feet, pelvic floor, all the way up the central channel. Lift your heart, lift the crown of your head. There you go. Return to center and go over to the other side. Every moment of the practice, today we're going to stay attuned to that inner body. On your next inhale, come back to center and release your arms down by your sides. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Really draw the heart forward. And then exhale, fold again. With an inhale, rise all the way to standing. Lift your head, lift your chest, start to reach the arms high, pull everything up, and then draw it back to heart. Again, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. This is how we create Vinyasa. Inhale, lift halfway, heart forward, lengthening. Exhale, fold deeply. And then rise with a flat back, hinge at the hips. Lift yourself, rise high, touch the palms, and bring it to center. Again, moving on. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. On the inhale, lift halfway. Now, step it back to plank pose. Both feet to the back of the mat, hands under your shoulders. Try to keep your gaze slightly forward so the head isn't heavy. That's it. Your feet should be about hip distance apart behind you. It'll actually make the stance a little bit stronger. Take a nice deep breath here. And then please lift your hips and go to down dog. Yes, we stretch back. And it's about hips high, not about heels low. It's actually the combination of those two actions happening simultaneously. As the hips rise and the heels sink, the back of the legs open. So again, don't be attached to the outer form. See what you feel energetically in your body when you create the movements. Let's take one more breath. And then come forward into plank. And then back into downward facing dog. Just think about the heat that you could build in the shoulders. Again, forward into plank. Let's squeeze the hands toward each other a little bit and activate the chest. And then again, hold that as you lift your hips and go back to down dog. Nicely done. This time we come forward and then we lower down. Take it all the way down onto the belly. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. We still have a lift in the arches. We still have a lift in the pelvic floor. So even when we're upside down, the lower belly draws in. There's a lengthening of the torso. Let the head down. Relax the back of your neck. So you actually look toward your navel here. Imagine that your head would be down enough to look toward your belly or between the space at the upper legs. Take one more breath and then look forward. Let's walk our feet one step at a time. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Purposely walking till the feet are together and then lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Let's rise with a flat back. And let's just make an agreement right here that if I ask you to do anything that doesn't feel good today, you're just going to say no. If you're asked to do something that you're not sure if you can do it, you can try. And if in the trying you figure out that it doesn't feel good, that's when you back off. But don't miss the opportunities to challenge yourself. And also don't force yourself to do anything that you intuitively know is not right or good in your body. Just for today. That pose might have worked out last week. Maybe next week it won't. I don't know. But just whatever is happening today, that is yoga, to be in the present moment. It's not about achieving anything. It's about being open to the possibilities and being honest with yourself. What a way to live, huh? Inhale, reach those arms. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the same exhale this time. Both feet go back. You lower down, belly or chaturanga. And then inhale into cobra, that little sweet back bend. And then exhale, downward facing dog. That's it. So when you move from your plank and your up dog and down dog, if you're moving your hands and feet around a lot, I'm going to suggest that we commit to the spacing of the plank pose. So come forward into plank. Know what this spacing is. Hands under shoulders, toes are bent, heels are above the big toe. And then from here, go back into your down dog. You don't need to move your hands or your feet. You shouldn't have to. There should be no shifting. Go ahead, try it again, plank pose. So it feels too short if you adjusted, right? Go back into down dog. Yes, this is a very important piece. Let's take one more breath and then look at the hands and just walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Feet come together, inhale, lengthen, exhale and fold. That's it. With a flat back, rise up, head up, chest up. Use that nice strong core. Touch the palms and then pull it right into center. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the in-breath. Let's soften the knees, touch down, and step the right leg back. Good. Keep your right hand on the ground, and then we'll twist open to the left side. That's our first spinal twist of the day, so be gentle with your spine. Try not to let the head hang. We want to lengthen, and that comes from that inner body bright feeling, right? That pelvic floor lift, that lower belly drawing in and up, and that rotation around the ribs. We should continue to lengthen all the way through the crown of the head. Take one more breath, and then eyes down, hands down. Please step back to plank and lower. Take it to the belly. Be gentle with your spine as you take your cobra pose. The chest lifts and broadens, the legs lengthen behind you. And then exhale, release back into downward facing dog. All right, feet are hip distance apart. Slowly walk your hands back to your feet. Okay, we're gonna bend the knees about 90 degrees. Music's gonna get a little funky. We're gonna bend those knees 90 degrees, bring the hands to the heart, and then twist to the right for me. Put the left elbow inside the left knee. Left elbow inside the left knee, and then show me that nice long spine. I knew See if we can activate that feeling of drawing in and up, lengthening. I like it. Hands continue to press together, return to center, and then stand up tall. Push through your feet, reach high, and then exhale, forward fold. Take it right in, fold deeply. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Let's walk it out into plank pose. Hands come forward, and we lower down nice and slow. Inhale for cobra pose, and then exhale right back to down dog. Good, now one breath only. Inhale deeply. As you exhale, go ahead and walk your feet to the hands. Come back up to the top of the mat. Feet are together now. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold please. And then bend your knees. Here comes chair pose. Feet together, arms reach. Yeah, this one's a little more powerful. But again, we can feel that sense of integration. Feel both feet on the ground. Lift a little in the arches so the knees don't squeeze together. And then pull up from the pelvic floor, from the lower belly. See if you can get that chest to rise and the arms to reach just a little more. And then push through your feet and come on up. You got it. Hands to heart. Here we go. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Soften the knees and touch down. Let's step the left leg back. Left leg goes all the way back. Left hand roots down. Twist to your right for me. So now this is probably our third twist. So it's starting to feel like you're getting a little bit of lubrication there in the back. So start to access maybe a little bit more. Pull the obliques in. Feel the waistline shrink and turn from the rib cage a little bit deeper. The more you anchor your left hand, the more you'll be able to reach open from the right chest. That's it. Take your last breath here. And then the eyes go down, the hand goes down. We'll step into plank and hold for a second. Inhale. Lower on the exhale. Inhale as you take cobra pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So we're syncing up that breath and that movement. Our hands are going to walk to the back of the mat now. Go ahead, take your hands back a little bit gracefully, and then bend those knees 90 degrees, and we twist to the left. Right elbow inside the left knee. So don't cross over to the outside. Keep that right elbow inside the right knee. Think about that. That's not what we normally do. Yep, elbow inside the knee. And if you press into that, you should be able to lengthen even more. And today, I'm much more interested in creating spaciousness than compression. See if you can drop the hips a touch and lift the heart a little higher. That will actually help with the alignment. Here's your last breath. Press those palms, come to center. Good. Now push all the way up to standing. Stretch the arms up. Feeling good. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. We're going to walk it forward now. Plank pose. Take a breath here and then exhale, lower down slowly. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Yeah, I see a lot of different things going on. Exhale, back to down dog. Okay, now the right foot's going to step up to the hands. Let's stay on the left toes and come into a high crescent lunge. Very nice. Now, fold halfway. Start to reach forward. As your chest and your arms reach forward, pull back a little through your left leg. Now we've got the outer form doing what it's supposed to do. Let's brighten it up with the inside. Pelvic floor lift, chest reaching forward, yes. Feel the work from the inner form, and then keep that central channel alive as you come back up. Stay nice and tall in your body, open your arms out like a T, and then twist to the right for me. Here comes another twist, yes. The arms come out, and we reach like we mean it, both arms equally. That reach is coming from the passion of the heart center. Right? So the heart sits in the middle of the body. It pumps all of that energy, all of that love, all of that oxygen through your body. And then we expand it by reaching out. Spread your fingers. Even the webbing of your fingers should stretch here. That's it. Take one more breath. And then right arm forward. As you inhale, both arms up. And then exhale, flow it out. Hands come down. Let's step back and lower. On the same exhalation, inhaling through the back bend of your choice. Make sure it's done with integrity. And then downward facing dog. I like the way you're moving today. How are you guys feeling? I'm getting nods. How about a little sound? Are you feeling good? Yes. Okay. Left foot steps up. Go ahead. Step that left foot forward. Stay on your right toes. Let's rise up into that high crescent lunge. Take your time getting there. Make sure your feet have enough distance apart so you feel more stable, right? If they're on a too narrow stance, it's like being on a tightrope. I want you to feel like you're standing on like a big tabletop, broad and stable, right? Not on a tightrope or a balance beam. Let's fold forward halfway. And it's not just the outer form, it's coming from the inside. You have the ability to light yourself up. And the truth is, if we can do it here, right? If we can do it in our poses, then we can do it anywhere, anytime. Feel that lift and that energy from the inside and rise back up. Make yourself a little taller. Try not to press too much in the big toes. You don't want to be squeezing in the middle. We want to press to the lateral borders for stability. Open your arms. Here comes our twist to the left side. There we go. Arms are open wide. Now see if you can have a sense of that pelvic floor lift, that chest rising, lifting through the crown of your head. Some of you are leaning forward. See if you can use the left arm more. Pull yourself back. Straighten up that spine. Yeah, amazing. Left arm forward. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, go ahead, flow it out. Hands down. Step it back and lower. Empty out your lungs. Take a deep breath through the back bend. And then return to downward facing dog. Okay. Turn it up a notch. Right foot steps up. Left foot turns flat. It's called Warrior One. Similar but not the same. Both feet are grounded this time. So we're going to build this from the ground up. Arches of the feet are lifted. There's energy that rises up through the inseams of your legs, lifting the pelvic floor, lifting the lower belly, even feeling a lift out of the ribs, the side waist. Take it all the way up to the fingertips. Now, could you turn your chest plate a little more forward? There it is. Sometimes it's just that little something. Now keep the chest plate forward, but take your arms down and behind your back. Clasp the hands together, take a deep breath, lift your heart even more, and then exhale, fold with the heart leading the way. Keep the body long, don't compress, don't fold into the belly, stay long. Draw the chest and head forward, out by the knee, yes. And as all that body weight goes forward, ground and anchor into that back foot. Try not to twist open here. The chest plate is facing down. So we don't want to lean. We want to hold ourselves steady. Chest down, hips square. Now the tailbone is going to draw down a little as you start to rise up. Lift your head first. There you go. Slowly, arms come up. Exhale, go ahead, flow it out. You know your way through the Vinyasa now, so you can do it with the timing of your own breath. You can make modifications like putting a knee down, and you can also say, hell no. No yasa for me, not Vinyasa for me. You can put your knees down and rest. We honor ourselves on the mat, always. We are open to the possibilities, we try new things, and we also know to pull back when things are not appropriate. Last breath here, and then Warrior One on the other side. Left foot steps up, right foot turns in. Now this is really about the integrity of that foundation. If that back heel is flat, you can start the work from the arches of your feet. You can feel the energy draw up the inseams of both legs through the pelvic floor, and I can see it when that inner body is bright, when that chest plate is forward. That's it. Some of you really look like fierce warriors right now. And so just for a moment, imagine you were a warrior for peace. Imagine if you were a warrior for health, a warrior for love, right? You wouldn't have the same look on your face. What is it that you're fighting for? Like, honestly, dig in a little bit, bend that front knee, lift your heart a little more. Let's hold that length, and then let the arms down only. Clasp your hands together. Take a deep breath, and then start to fold. Amy, I just want you to know, I can barely even focus on teaching because he is so adorable. All right, so the hips are square. Let's pull that left hip back and the right hip forward a little bit. We always want to make sure that we feel solid on the ground, that we feel strong inside. Forget about the outer form. Let's work the mechanics of the inner body. Now we push down to rise up. Yep. Everything works better. Take a deep breath, reach your arms, and then let's flow. Flow your way. Hands down, step back, lower. Make sure you're breathing and moving. Inhale, cobra, and then exhale, down dog. All right. High crescent lunge, right side. Right foot steps. Stay on your left toes as you rise up. And then we simply turn open to the left side for warrior two. Yeah, there we go. Now, when the legs are apart like this and we're facing the side, there's a slightly different experience of lifting up that inner channel. So you got to go back to the basics. The arches of the feet lift, the inseams of the legs enliven, the pelvic floor, the lower belly lift and support the pose. Just feel what it feels like to let that down. Do you feel what just happened? Like if you're not doing that, and then do it again. Like really understand the value of that little extra awakening on the central channel. And then see if you can keep that energy as you go to reverse warrior. Left arm down, right arm up. We're always seeking the balance, so the front knee bends a little. And we reach a little higher, we look a little higher. If there's a variation you like to do with your left hand, I invite you to do it. My favorite lately is left hand on the lower belly. So sometimes we tuck behind, sometimes we reach out and use the core. What happens if you put your hand below your navel, put it on your lower belly, and then feel that action of pulling it up and in. Watch what happens to the spine. Then reach with that arm, that right arm a little more. Yes. Return to warrior two. Let's straighten the front leg and say it. Ah. You want to, so why don't we? We don't express ourselves. That's harmless. Like, who's going to be mad if you slide? Right? But we hold it in. All day long, we hold it in. Let's take triangle pose. Both legs are straight. Both arms are straight. See if you can navigate that relationship. The integration of the inner form and the outer form, right? Because we want it to look so good on the outside, but we need it to feel really good on the inside. Let's just give that a moment. And as you're here thinking that you're struggling, just know whoever that ambulance is going to is probably struggling more. Let's root down to rise up. Take a breath, a moment of gratitude for the fire rescue, right? Man, have they been taxed in the last 2 years, year and a half. All right, both legs are straight. Turn your right toes in. Put your hands on your hips. Inhale, extend your spine. And then exhale, forward fold. Keep your fingers in the crease of your hips. Let your head hang. I want you to press your fingers into your belly a little bit. And then feel, even though your fingers are pressing in, the muscles inside there are still pulling up and in. You can feel it. Maybe if you press in just a little more and you pull up and in a little more, you might be able to fold a little bit deeper. And then be really graceful here. Start to lift your head with a flat back. We rise all the way up. Now turn your left toes out for Warrior 2. The left toes turn out, the arms come out to the sides. And we start bending deeply into the left knee. So Warrior 2. Just like we were doing before, and I know I'm giving you the cues for the outer form. Did you remember about your inner body? Let's try not to reach or lean forward. Let's stay tall in the center. So it's important that we're not like reaching. That front leg is going to start to burn out. So we want to make sure that we pull ourselves back and we're standing tall. Yeah, that's it. And then reverse your warrior. See if you can do it from that place where that central channel feels enlivened, where there's support from the bottom. And then play with that different variation that you might want to try with your right hand. Yeah, I like how some of you are wrapping it behind, some of you are going for that belly. Sometimes when we just touch the belly, there's proprioception, there's an awareness. I thought I was lifting it until I actually lifted it, right? That's it. Feel your inner body. Feel how big and alive you are. And then when you're ready, return to Warrior 2. Let's straighten the left knee and take triangle pose. Both feet are grounded. The energy rises from the feet, inside the legs, up through the center. This is one of those places that sometimes our head comes forward, which takes us out of our alignment. So just try to draw the tailbone down a little so you can bring your head, neck, and shoulders back slightly. There you go. And the more rooted you are, the more stable you feel, so the more you can express and open the pose. Now we got to keep working from that central channel. We got to find support for the spine and rise back up. That's it. Keep both legs straight. The left toes are going to turn in. And then hands on your hips. Inhale, extend and lengthen. Lift your chest. And then exhale, fold all the way over. This time, let your hands touch down on the floor. Yeah. We touch deeply into the earth. And then make sure your heels are a little wider than your toes. And I'd like you to go and reach now for your ankles. And using your elbows, let them splay out a little bit wide. Start to draw the head down a little bit. That's it. Now just because we're folding forward doesn't mean the belly falls out. We remember when our fingers were up there in the crease of the hip, we had that belly pulling up and in so that we could draw the body down a little bit deeper. Just take one more breath here. And then release your hands back up onto your hips. And with a big inhale, let's rise back up to standing. Good. Right toes are going to turn out. Left toes are going to turn out. Turn out. Both feet out. Yes. So heels in, toes out now. And then bend your knees about 90 degrees. You might not get 90, but you're going for something close to that. And very often when you go to do this, you have to adjust how far apart your feet are. So if you go a little wider, it might feel better. It's a little safer for your knees. Now, if you stick the booty out, there's much less pulling on the groins. But we don't really want to take away the stretch in the groins. We want to draw the tailbone down, not under. Draw the tailbone down and lift up that inner body bright. This is why we've been doing the work. For the whole practice was for this moment. to make sure your energy didn't drop out the bottom. But you can feel the arches of your feet lift. You can feel the inner thighs pulling up and in. You lift the lower belly. Now take your arms out like a T. You're using your big toes and your little toes. Turn your palms to face up. Now reach both arms over your head, biceps to the ears. You've got this. Interlace all of your fingers and turn them inside out. Push the heels of your hands up, and as you do, bend your knees more. I know you don't want to stay here. I know, but you've got this. You can do it. When we push ourselves just a little bit past that point of discomfort, we grow, we strengthen. Now stay in your hips, but open your arms out like a T. That's it. Put your hands on your hips, and then slowly come on up and say it. You did great. Inhale, both arms reach. Open the arms out like a T. Let's bend back into the knees. Bend back in, even if you don't want to. I saw that delay. That was just so honest. Now, keep the arms like a T and tip over to the right so that your right forearm goes inside your right knee. Right forearm inside the knee. We're not leaning on it. It's a straight arm like a T. Yeah. Now your arm is trying to push your knee open a little bit, but your knee is resisting. Draw that tailbone down and give me that inner body bright. Give me that nice long spine. Head back for me. Yep. Both knees are bent equally. And then rise back up to the center. Hands on your hips. Come on out and say it. Inhale. Both arms reach. Take your arms out like a T. Bend back into the knees. Tip it over to the left side. We've got to support the inner body here. That spine needs support. If we're starting to fatigue and we start to get a little bit soft, we lose our support. Feel the arm press the knee open just a little. And then when you are ready, you come back to center. Hands on your hips. Straighten those legs and say it. Inhale, both arms reach. This time the arms come out like a T. And then we're going to bend them 90 degrees. We call it goddess arms. The elbows bend. Now spread your fingers like rays of the sun, right? Make the webbing between your fingers. Spread, stretch. The whole palm of your hand is alive. And then tip your elbows a little bit forward and bring your hands slightly behind you. So we externally rotate that upper arm bone. And then right from here, bend your knees. We're going to stay right there. Keep the heart space open, but draw the tailbone slightly down. That was awesome. You've got this. All right, we're going to add on something new. Right heel is going to lift off of the mat. Come up on the toes. Yes, feel it. Maybe bend that knee a little deeper. Go in just a little. And then as you come back to neutral, plant that heel, try the other side. Left heel lifts. Chest is wide open. Pelvic floor is lifted and supported. Release that heel, put your hands on your hips, come on up and say it. Inhale, both arms reach. As you put your hands on your hips, pivot both of your feet and face the front of your mat. Then soften your right knee and with some grace, step your feet together. Feels so good. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank pose and lower on the exhale. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And then take it right back into your downward facing dog. Breathe. Alright, let's come up high on our toes. Start to bend the knees and come into a floating tabletop. So the gaze goes a little forward. The knees come under the hips, and the hands are strong under the shoulders. Just because we hold the pose doesn't mean we hold the breath. Can we find that strength in the inner body? Find the strength in your core, in the midline. Squeeze your hands to the middle. Try to stretch the mat apart with your feet. Take one more breath. And then really gently put your knees down. Got it. Right arm forward, left leg back. Yeah, just simple. Basic spinal balancing. Now as we reach out with the limbs, can we pull in from the center? Yes, that same work. It can be done anytime, anywhere. And it's not a lockdown on the energy, it's an increase in vitality. So be careful that you're not being rigid. The breath still flows. All right, keep that leg up behind you, but put your right hand back down. Now pull that left knee into the belly. Left knee comes in. Now lift your left leg out to the side. Take it out wide. And then extend it. Push it out straight. Yeah. If you're leaning to the right, try to center yourself. I gotcha. Now look at that left foot. It's right out there on the side. Put it down. Yes. And walk your hands back toward your right knee and then come on up to stand. You've got this. Inhale, arms reach. Arms out like a T. Let's tip over to the left side and just enjoy the body. Gate pose. Left foot is grounded. Right shin, ankle, foot are grounded. And we're lifting up from the center to create that lateral extension. Keep that work and that energy in the central channel and come back through the T position and then take your right hand to the floor. Move it out a little bit so it ends up under your shoulder. A little bit further out. And then put it flat. We're going to put a little weight onto that right hand and start lifting that left leg. Flex your left foot. Be a little more active here. And then feel that streamline. Feel the tailbone draw in. The front ribs soften. And maybe the head back a little bit. Try turning the left palm and reaching the bicep over the ear. Beautiful job. Arm comes up. Foot goes down. Rise back to the T position. Bring your arms forward. And then plant both hands on the floor. As you lift your left leg, bend the knee and pull it back in. And then place it down. Child's pose. Not for long, just enough to soften the lower back. So that rounding, that tailbone tuck, and that rounding around the kidney band is just so important. And then when you're ready, you come back into your hands and knees. Left arm forward, right leg back. Test yourself. Can you still feel the outer form and the inner body? At this point, can we make both things happen? We don't want to be rigid. We just want to feel vital and alive and awake. And then keep your leg up, but put your hand down. Let's pull that to the belly and then take it out wide to the side. Lift it and then extend it. Hold it out there for just a second. Feel a little bit of juice in that outer hip. And then go ahead and put your foot down. The foot should be flat as you walk your hands back and come to stand tall in gate pose. Arms go out like a T. Enjoy the stretch to the right. Every time we bend, move, twist, fold, we're still alive in the center. From the earth, we move through the water, we stoke the fire, we awaken the heart. This is what happens in the body as that channel moves upward. We start to get a clear vision. Come back to center. Stay strong in the core. Tip it over to the other side. I know we touched down at first with the fingers, but then see if you can go to a flat palm and make sure your hand is under your shoulder so you can start lifting the right leg up. Be aware of your neighbor. Turn the palm, draw the bicep over the ear. Feel how much of this work is coming from the inside instead of the outside. Get everything parallel to the earth. And then the arm comes up. The foot goes down. Strong in the center line. Come back up. Let's bring our hands forward. Plant them onto the ground. And then gently lift that right leg. Bend the knee and pull it back in. Child's pose. Just a moment of softness. Keep the breath flowing free. The breath is still strong. Now we come back up. Lift your head, lift your chest. Come up and stand on both knees. Push down a little bit into the tops of the ankles or tuck your toes. It's okay to tuck the toes here too. Yeah, either way. But we need to be able to push down a little bit with the feet behind us. And then I want you to feel that pelvic floor lift. I want the ribs to soften. And I want you to just take your hands forward and hook your thumbs. Start to spread your fingers big. Put energy there. And then without back bending, so we're not going to do this. We're not going to like bend the spine. We're going to stay in one line, and 45 degrees, we're going to take the whole thing back. You'll feel weight on the tops of your feet or on your toes. Now this is probably going to get a little shaky. So at least if you know up front that you can expect that. And even though you think you're super strong, we don't really use the body this way. We don't lean back 45 degrees and have to hold ourselves. Right? So just know, like you're just awakening something. You're inviting something to come up and do its job. And our muscles are so much happier when we use them. So lean back just a touch more. Draw the tailbone down, hip points forward. Yep, and then open the arms like a T. Yeah, now it's going to really start. Can you have a sense of humor about it? Don't get so upset. Turn your palms to face up. Start to reach the biceps to the ears. Strong. You are so much stronger than you think you are. You are so much more capable of handling the resistance and the challenges that life hands you. And even right here, you can do it with grace. You can invite it in. Take the arms back out like a T. And then draw both arms forward. Let's start to soften and put our hands back on the ground. With both hands down, I invite you into a dancing lion. So we go from the rigid into the fluid. That means you just start to move. Yes, you start to move your hips, you start to move your shoulders, your head. Your spine moves like a snake. There's a lot of fluidity here. So move out of that rigidness. And even as you're moving, can you do it from that inner body bright place, like that vital, beautiful connected place in the center of yourself. Don't worry about the outer form. Everybody looks funny doing this. Well, not funny, that's not a good word. I would say beautiful, fluid. But it's natural movement. There's no cueing. Listen to the music. Move in a way that feels really good. Like close your eyes and dance like nobody's watching. Make sure that you do this in both directions. So if you've been circling around the same way over and over, switch it up. There's a forward and back, there's a left and right, there's an up and down. Are you breathing? how we want to hold ourselves. The more present we are, the less reactive we will be. The more conviction we will have about our choices. Please know that the yoga lives in the poses and in the stillness. The yoga lives in the moments of challenge and in the moments of grace. Because yoga is not something that we do. Yoga is something that we are. Yoga is something we get to be. Yoga means union, and it means the integration of all things. Each of us complex. So many layers, so many experiences, so many emotions. Imagine the integration of all of it so you feel whole. Imagine a life where you're not so concerned about the outer form and you feel just as connected to how you feel on the inside. Some of us are killing ourselves to look so good on the outside, and inside we're sick, we're miserable, we're stressed. And no matter what we do, we still feel less than. What if we switched that up? What if we started on focusing on the inside? And that was the journey to wholeness. That would be yoga. Let's take a deep breath and reach our arms up. And then let your arms come down, put them beside you so you can unfold your legs and extend them straight out. Push down into your hands right next to your hips and start to really press your legs down and out. Flex your feet so that the feet come alive. Spread the toes and the soles of the feet. Sit up a little taller. Try not to lean back. Try not to lean back, yeah. Straight up, that same feeling, that midline. And as you lift up through the crown of your head, slightly tip the chin down so the back of your neck lengthens. We press pretty fiercely through the hands. I feel the heels dig down into the mat and try to spread the mat apart. So like everything else, the hands squeeze in and the feet stretch out and the body comes together. Take one more breath here. And then go ahead and release. Let's bend our knees. Bend them about 90 degrees. Put your feet flat. Move your hands back a little bit. And have your fingers either pointing forward or slightly out. Yeah, not behind you, but like either toward your hips or out to the side. And then lift yourself up. We call it reverse tabletop. Keep your chin at your chest. Feet are hip distance apart. Give yourself a little space. I want you to press down through both of those footprints. Push down enough that you can get your center to lift. Yes, one last time to find that inner core strength. Push down, rise up, pull in from the pelvis, tuck your tail just the tiniest bit, and then very slowly put it down. Good. Keep your knees bent, take your arms forward, let's round the spine. Tuck your chin and your tailbone, and then roll down slowly. Roll down onto your back. As you lay down, let's put the soles of our feet together and just open those knees wide. Take your arms up overhead. go of that integration of that inner channel. Start to move the belly a little more freely. Feel the belly button rise and fall. And just begin to feel what it feels like to soften. Just like we need the skill of awakening our energy, we also need to know how to calm ourselves down. So attention goes straight to that channel in the center, and we just move the breath up and down it really gently. Calming the nervous system. Green parrots. Let's go ahead and pull the knees right up back into the center. That's it. Let's lift them off the ground. Pull the knees into the belly and rock a little side to side. I'd like you to take one hand onto each knee and open that up a little bit wider. Yeah. When the knees open a little wider, you might be able to get the back a little flatter. So don't squeeze the knees toward you too much. Try to keep the tailbone down. And then we're going to open up into happy baby pose for just a moment. The soles of your feet will face the sky, or if you're at home, the ceiling. And then we grab our ankles. You can still rock a little bit side to side here. If it feels good to stay flat in the center, then stay. We're going to take 3 more breaths. If you want to straighten one leg, you can. If you really just want to soften in. A moment where it's yogi's choice. She's singing Ananda. Ananda means bliss. Yoga reminds us that there is a bliss body. There is a space inside us that is at ease. Take one more breath. And then pull the knees right back in toward the chest. Let's guide them over to the right as we extend our left arm open for spinal twist. Soften. So we feel what it is to be at ease, to let go of the integration for a moment. And then as we prepare to make a move, right? When we're about to take action in life, this is where we want that vitality, where we pull ourselves back together, we draw the belly in, don't push it out, and bring ourselves back toward the middle. And then you can guide your knees over to the left as you extend your right arm out. And once you get there, settle in. Ease in. Give yourself permission. At some point, the work has to be done. We can't be on all the time.
easy if you try. Nowhere below us, above us, on the sky high. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion to. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world won't miss one.
Test. Okay. Let's slowly start to awaken. Take your time.
Imagine no possession.
Breathe and stretch and move.
I wonder if you can.
And eventually, before you make that move, you pull yourself together. We choose vitality and energy. We awaken ourselves and we come. Oh, it's because I pulled the umbrella down. We come back to see this. And my unit was in the sun, so I put an umbrella over it and my signal went to crap. So let's sit for just one more moment. Okay. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I have a feeling a lot of us feel the same way. I imagine a life with peace. And I know the more people that actually do yoga, not just fitness, I'm a fitness person too, but I'm saying not just the workout. When we start to really do the work to integrate who we really are and how we really live, the world's gonna change. And even if it's just one little breath at a time, one person awakening at a time, I believe that we're moving in the right direction. So thank you for coming out. Thank you for your dedication to your practice. I know this isn't easy. This is not the path for the weary. Let's bring our hands together at the heart. And we seal the practice in acknowledgement of ourselves for showing up today, for doing the work, for awakening and shifting our own energy, for taking that choice to feel better. Let's acknowledge that in ourselves with the beautiful and sacred sound of Om. One deep breath. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Om Peace, Peace, perfect peace. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my own life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and to that freedom. May we all know peace peace, perfect peace. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Here behind me, I don't mean any disrespect when my back is to any of you. Namaste to all and to everyone at home. Namaste. Have a happy Saturday, everybody. Please remember that there will not be a practice here next Saturday. The city is using the park for something else, so we have 1 week that we have a Saturday off. If you want to do a yoga practice, go to my YouTube channel. Every practice from this park has been downloaded to the YouTube channel, and you have access to any of your favorite classes anytime. So you can follow me on YouTube, and every week there's a new download from this practice. Tomorrow morning, Sunday morning practice, I have space still at 8:30 if you want to practice poolside. Farmer's Table is our host. We do yoga outside on the pool deck at the Wyndham Hotel. It's actually been quite lovely. The sun hasn't come up high enough to put any sun there yet. The building blocks it, and we have a gazebo. So it's a beautiful breeze and lots of shade and a beautiful outdoor practice. So if the outdoor thing is your thing, you can join me Saturdays and Sundays. 8:30 on Sunday, 9 o'clock here, of course. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, or hopefully before. Lots going on at the studio. Come see me. Come take a class. yogajourney.com. I think that's it. And if you wouldn't mind, a couple of extra hands to put all the chairs and tables back. That's always helpful. I actually got a taste of what Andy and Mark do every week. Oh yeah, and I have a spot in Portugal. I have one room that opened for Portugal. If anyone's been thinking about traveling, itching to travel, I had a cancellation. The trips have been sold out. I have 2 groups going. They've been sold out. It's 2 weeks back to back. And 1 week one spot has opened. So I have a room. It's a king room. It could be for a couple, and it could be for a